All right, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, thank you. Today we've got the second part of the submission, which is 13 books. Just finished showing the first 12, finishing with Fantastic Four 286 newsstand. And it's been a great submission so far. Had some great results, a lot more 9.8s than I was expecting really, which makes a pleasant change. And today we've got the last 13. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe, like, all those good things, especially if you like the content. I'd love to have you back and to see when the new stuff's out. So we're starting today with Flash 314 Newsstand Edition. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through every book that's remaining here, and I will go over what I've done to it, how much it cost me, what my grade expectations were from CGC, and then we'll see how we go. So with this one, it cost me $15, and it turned up it had a whole bunch of finger bends, and I thought they're going to crease. There's just too many. There were a lot. I'm talking like maybe 20 or 30. It's just been read so much. Somehow I pressed it out and most of them didn't seem to crease. It looked pretty good. The back cover had a small yellow stain which I was able to remove through some heat overlay press, and it seemed to be good and gone. And I thought the book looked great. And it does look great. So I was expecting a 9.8. That is really great. So I was expecting it to come back as a 9.8. It is a first appearance, so it's not a particularly huge book in any other way. Yeah, so CGC expect 9.8 and received 9.6. So I think it's the first disappointment in this submission so far, but that's okay. Let's have a look at the graders notes. And we have crease on the left bottom of the back cover. So yeah, there were that many creases. It looks great, but yeah, there must be a little crease there that didn't quite come out. Yeah, I can see it there. So you can just, it was just really hard to spot, and there was a lot of damage. This book is now 9.6, which is a great outcome. So off to a decent start. Not what we were hoping for, but that's okay. Next up, we've got Labyrinth number 2, direct edition. I think I featured Labyrinth 1 before. Yes, in the last submission, and that was a newsstand. This is number 2. It's got Ludo on the cover, so it's from the movie. You can see Bowie in the box there, and yeah, loved the movie, and I was really excited to find the book in high grade. It cost me $16. It was really clean, pressed nicely, looked solid, and if this came back in a high grade, it's just going into the PC. So I put a book aside for my nephew in the first submission, part of the submission. And this one here, I'm expecting a 9.8. So CGC, 9.8 white pages. So I'm really excited to get that back in a 9.8. And it's a great book. And that's actually going to be a present for my wife. We both love the Labyrinth, but she loves Ludo. So that's going to be a little one for her. And it's actually got a fair bit of value, which is great. So yeah, stoked. What a great submission so far. Let's hope it doesn't end here. Got Omega Man number 3, the first appearance of Lobo. Paid a fair bit for this one. Paid $126 from a relatively trusted seller. I've had some good results from them before. Had a small ding on the spine. I can't remember which, it was top or bottom. Otherwise, it was a clean copy, no spine ticks. And I thought 50-50 chance for 9.8. Cleaned it, pressed it. And after seeing it pressed and the final result, I was a lot more confident that it was going to be a 9.8. But I have got myself as expecting a 9.6 to 9.8. Send it to CGC. 9.8 white pages. So really happy with that. That's a brilliant book. I love Lobo to have in high grade. And oh yeah, it's the tiniest little thing on the spine, bottom of the spine. Otherwise, a great copy. Great copy. All right, moving on to Quasar number 14. So the only noteworthy thing from my perspective on this book is that it's a McFarlane cover. I love Todd. Great art, great artist. Bit of a character, and yeah, I was happy to I just love working on his books. So didn't care too much about it. It cost me $34. Maybe I should care about it. 2 to 3 light ticks, and the front cover on the bottom right was a little bit soft, a little bit. I removed some tanning and cleaned it up, and there was a gouge and line along the front cover on the right side. It didn't seem color breaking, so I pressed it quite a few times. It was a bit of a pain, this book. There was tanning on the inside of both covers, which I took off, and I thought it looked okay, and it was basically see how that corner is judged. I was expecting to come back as a 9.2 to 9.4. CGC had a look at it and said, oh boy. Let's have a look at the grader notes. Multiple stain top of front cover, multiple stains right center of front cover. So there are actually nothing on the front that I can see here. So what that means is that inside, I think with part of my cleaning process, I've missed stuff. So I'm going to have to crack this one and rework it. I'll have a look at the values, make sure it makes sense. But I will rework this book. You can see some waviness there too. So it'll definitely benefit, and see what's going on the inside, and then see if I can resubmit it. So you may see that book again. Moving on to the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 82. I think it says Punisher, Cloak, Dagger, and Kingpin appearance, but I think this is the first meeting of the Kingpin and Punisher. So it cost me $9. Had 5 or 6 ticks and a few larger ones, and 2 went all the way to the back, and I thought it was going to be 9.4, maybe 9.6. It was a small key, so it was worth pushing. There were no newsstand sales above 8.5, so I wasn't sure what it would get, and I wasn't sure what it was going to be worth. Yeah, so same as CGC expecting a 9.4. Yeah, 9.2. It's a little bit lower. Let's have a look at the grader notes. Not too far off. Spine stress lines. Wow, so 9.2 from stress lines. That's pretty heavy, and they are quite heavy. I mean, I'm not sure if the glare will preclude you seeing that. And they did wrap around to the back as well. You can see them all up and down there. So I think you had spine stress lines, but I didn't think 9.2. That's okay. So that's perfectly fine. So next up, we've got the best Web of Spider-Man cover there is, number 32. So I've had this before on the show, and I think I got 9.4, and it's actually really beautifully cut, this one, which is nice. A little bit of blue there, but otherwise, if I get this on a 9.8 into the PC, no question, no ifs, no buts. So this one, so I'll keep trying if this is not a 9.8. So this one cost me $34. Cleaned up some finger bends, had a few negligible ticks on the back, which I cleaned up. And there was a band that goes top to bottom on the back cover with a gloss removed. And I know I took a picture of it, so I'll put it up. I wasn't sure that was going to get graded, and it could be as low as a 9 if it got graded harshly. I just didn't know how to assess that at all. So I've got it down as expecting a 9.4, but thinking it could get a 9 if they've just seen that as, you know, substantial gloss removal. Otherwise, looks great. Sharp, beautiful cover. CGC expecting 9.4, 9.6. So a little bit better than I was expecting. Not the 9.8. So the search continues. Yeah, it's going to be hard to see. I can sort of see it'll. If you just look down here, it may or may not show up. But that's all right. If I haven't put the picture up, I will now. And yeah, decent outcome. Next up, we have a very unusual one for me. I came across it. Weird War Tales 101 Newsstand Edition. It's the first appearance of G.I. Robot. Yeah, so it's actually quite a big book, and I think recently there may have been some announcement about it. So I'd already bought it before I bought this a few months ago, and I thought it looked great when I was looking at it. Cost me $48. Had 4 or 5 strong ticks and a printer's crease on the front cover. Can't see it, and it's got an awesome date stamp as well. I love date stamps. Yeah, that's really cool. April 14th. So if that's your birthday, 1981, happy birthday. I pressed it, removed some tanning, and it looked decent. It looked really decent. The back cover had some white scratches, which I took a picture of. I've got a note here, so I'll put those up now. But honestly, it's a newsstand edition, and I thought it was going to come back as a 9.0. You know, you put a near mint into the title or something that's desirable coming up and is a newsstand, and I think only good things could happen. So CGC expecting a 9.0 or hoping for a 9.0. It got a 9.0 white pages as well, so that's fantastic. And that's actually got a fair bit of value, and it seems to be going up. So, you know, a bit of yellow on the cover, cool date stamp. Yeah, really nice book. Yeah, stoked. That's a great outcome. Actually, let's have a look at the greater notes. Just because I'm happy doesn't mean we should look at the greater notes. Light crease on the left top of the back cover, spine stress lines, and crease on the top front cover. Yeah, so just a bit of light creasing, which is perfectly fine. So next up, we've got Wolverine number 27. Got this from a trusted seller, paid $31 for it. It arrived, looked clean. I gave it a tidy and a quick press, and then one more press just to make sure it was sweet. And I thought it's a 9.8. That's it. My notes are 9.8. So Senator, you see expecting a 9.8. Got a 9.8. So great outcome. Jim Lee cover, beautiful book. Yeah, it's, if you love Wolverine, and especially if you like Jim Lee and Wolverine, this is the one you'd have. And it just looks beautiful. That's great. All right, moving on to X-Men, 131 newsstand edition. So White Queen on the cover. It's a bit of an iconic cover, actually. I've seen it a few times. Second appearance of Dazzler, but you know, that's fine. Okay, I bought this from a seller that I will not go back to. Oh yeah, so I paid $85 for this, and this will be one of the reasons why. Front of it, as you can see, looks amazing. On the back, there's a significant finger bend tear with creases around it. Wasn't mentioned, wasn't shown, presented, and yeah, just not appropriate. And that's the kind of thing that will just put me off a seller, and you know, you'll lose my business. So you know, you might save a couple of bucks if you're the seller doing that, but you'll lose a lot more because I'll pay good money for good books, and it's a nice book, but it's not worth $85. Yeah, so send to CGC expecting anywhere between 8 to an 8.5, because the rest of the book's pretty great, except there's a tear and a finger bend creases at the top back, which I'll show you. 8 to 8.5, CGC had a look and said 8.5. So I'm pretty sure their notes were spot on as well. Spine stress lines, so tear with crease on the top of the back cover. And it's very visible, very, very visible there. So you can see it there, and you know, it's the kind of thing that you really should mention if you're selling the book, and it takes you a second, and then people can price it accordingly. So that's what gets you on my blacklist. Moving on, X-Men 142. Let's make sure it doesn't fall off. I bought this from a different seller, which again I won't be going back to, who was a little bit average, and this might have been one of the reasons. Yeah, so I've had a few that I've just basically trying to recoup my money from. It cost me $105, which is way too much for this book unless it's a real contender. I removed a bunch of awkward foxing. I remember that was on the back. Oh, it was just all along inside the spine. And I thought, in order to get my money back, I'm going to have to really work it. You know, I was left with a few ticks, and the top and bottom of the spines had issues, particularly on the back are a bit worn. And I thought it was probably like in a 7 range when I got it because of the foxing and the issues and the ticks. And I thought I got it to a 9.2. You know, it presents really nicely for what it is. Just paid too much for it. So CGC hoping for a 9 to 9.2. Received a 9.4. So that's a nice outcome, but it's still a loss. Yeah, still a loss. Yeah, there's a few issues there. And the greater notes are for the 9.4. Spine stress lines, very small crease, right bottom of front cover. Yeah, so it's just a few issues. And you know, I tidied it up as much as I could. But you know, this was all foxing, and there was foxing all down the spine, inside, up here. It was a real pain. You can see in the top there's some wear on the spine. So I worked that book a fair bit to try and get that value back out of it. Moving on to X-Men 145. Yeah, and paid $43 for this book. And what a great Doom cover it is. Beautiful Doom cover, love that. Yeah, not much more to say on that one. It was a clean book, it turned up beautiful. Sharp corners, I pressed it a couple of times, made sure I gave it its best chance. Fully expected it to come back as a 9.8. Set at CGC, 9.8. Off-white to white pages, but that's all right. Beautiful copy of that book. You know, it has a bit of value in it as well, so yeah. Almost kept this one, almost kept it. If it had white pages, I probably would have kept it. Moving on to our second last book, X-Men 160. This is the first appearance, actually. Oh yes, of Magic. Magic's quite in the scene at the moment. There's a lot of talk about Magic, so probably good timing to have this one. Picked it up for $26. It was a good, clean copy. And there was a small possible crease on the bottom right corner from the overhang. Can't quite see it here, but yeah, I was worried that part of that was going to crease. I worked it over, gave it its best chance, but I thought I got to the point, honestly, where it was going to be a 9.8. There was just nothing else wrong with it. Presented beautifully. Set at CGC expecting 9.8. 9.8, white pages. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that's a great outcome. A bit of value, not huge value, and maybe it'll go up if Magic's more popular at the moment. And yeah, wonderful. Very nice. On to the last book, and I have featured this cover before, I believe in a newsstand edition, X-Men 251, direct edition. Got this from a trusted seller, actually as was the last one, for $69. So he specifically sold me this because I told him I didn't have this in a 9.8 yet. I did have a really good one, but I actually put a dent in it by mistake. So he put it up for sale. He said it's a 9.8 contender. When it arrived, it was a great copy, 100%. Had a small crease on the front cover, top right corner. And I mean tiny. I mean, you can't really see it there. I'm not sure you'll see it. It was just, you know, through the mylar and everything on the slab. Yeah, I thought it was a 50-50. 50-50 was going to be a 9.8. So as you see, expecting 9.6, 9.8. White pages. So that's going to the PC now. Happy to have that. So if I get a 9.8 newsstand, I may replace it. Otherwise, stoked to have that. So that completes the second part of the submission. And all up, you know, the running total will be on the screen. For the whole submission, I spent just shy of $2,000, including costs, grading costs, shipping to, shipping back, everything all in, everything averaged out, and received a value of $3,600. So, you know, a really good return. Couple of books that I was just looking to recoup my value on, otherwise fantastic. So if you like this kind of content and you want to see more, make sure you like, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.